What if you could talk to your higher self in your dreams, and specifically within your lucid dreams? Well, today I want to talk to you about just that. I'm going to give a lucid dream experience that I had as an example and blueprint of how powerful it can be to connect with your higher self and the wisdom that is contained within you in this very lucid and tangible way. A lucid dream is one in which you know beyond a doubt that you are dreaming within the dream, and you're able to stay immersed in that dream within a lucid state. And when that happens, the quality of the dream dramatically shifts because you are hyper aware, hyper present, you have this level of agency, and then you can do things like call forth to your higher self in order to ask questions, in order to work through issues you've been having in waking life, in order to connect with a deeper purpose for your life. And so lucid dreaming, a lot of people think, is just a fun thing that you can do where you can fly and you can have beautiful pleasures and you can do all of these things. And yes, all of that is true. And yet there are also even more advanced and transformational techniques and intentions that you can have for lucid dreaming in order to connect to a very deep level of experience in these non-ordinary dream states of reality. So I want to talk to you about a specific dream that I had. In this particular dream, it started off kind of scary, and there was this dark water, but I was able to not be afraid of the fearful experience that I was having and realized that there was something waiting there for me, a connection and clarity with these questions that I had been having in waking reality. So in this particular dream, I was by a beautiful lake, and I was with my mother and some other people that I knew really well, and we were all going to go swimming in this lake. So we got in the waters, but then I noticed that there was this head floating in the water of some type of animal, and at first I thought maybe it was a crocodile, and I became afraid, and then I noticed, no, actually it was snapping turtles. And I got nervous. I was like, okay, what if these snapping turtles are here to bite my feet? I don't want to be in this water anymore. So I got out of the water, but my mom stayed in there and she was swimming very peacefully. And something about her being able to stay in the water then made me feel a little bit more at ease. And all of a sudden I looked up at the sky and I saw this beautiful rainbow that was stretching in all directions. And in that moment, when I saw that rainbow, I thought, wait a minute, could I be dreaming? Because I had been training myself in lucidity practices, which require you to regularly question if you could be dreaming, especially when you notice something that is an anomaly or unusual or wouldn't happen in waking reality. And so when I had that question, then boom, lucidity snapped on, and I said, aha, yes, I know I'm dreaming. I became lucid, and I began floating up to this beautiful rainbow of the sky. And then I was immersed in this wonderful rainbow light color all around me, encircling me, and then it turned into a white light, and I was in this void-like white light space. And as I was immersed in that, I thought, okay, what was my intention for the next time that I became lucid? Because setting a clear intention of what you want to do can help you to really achieve that within the lucid dream. A lot of times, if we're not clear on our lucid dreaming intentions, then once lucidity comes, we get so excited by it that we either wake ourselves up or do something that's just a habitual, like, oh, okay, every time I have a lucid dream, I do this thing. And that can be exciting at first, but then it starts to get a little boring because you want to try new things. And so I knew that I had the intention that I wanted to talk to my higher self the next time that I became lucid. And in this particular dream, I was able to remember that intention. I was able to say, aha, yes, now I remember when I become lucid next, I wanted to talk to my higher self. So I thought that in my mind in this lucid dream, I want to talk to my higher self. All of a sudden, the dream reformed around me from this white void space, and I was hanging upside down in a tree, and I was looking at reality from an inverted perspective. And I heard the voice of my higher self come to me and surround me. And this voice was telling me all of these things and answering questions that I had from my waking reality. And it was way beyond what my conscious mind could have thought of. And I was getting a very deep and powerful download from my higher self. And again, within a lucid dream, it's a lived experience. So it felt as real as if I was in waking reality having a direct conversation with my higher self. And one of the messages that came through was through the actual position that I was in the dream. I was hanging upside down in a tree. And my higher self was communicating to me through that I needed to look at my situations from a different perspective, and even a more playful perspective, not take things so seriously, kind of like the card in the tarot of the Hanged Man. An inverted perspective a lot of times can give us new insight into situations that are challenging us in our day-to-day lives. So I woke from this dream feeling like I had received so much wisdom and able to then put that into action in my waking life. And that's really why we emphasize lucid dreaming, lucid living. The insights and the experiences that you have in your lucid dreams can really impact your waking reality if you then integrate what you're learning in the dream time into your waking reality experiences. So now I want to go into breaking down a few key moments and lessons within the lucid dream that I had, and really talk about play by play how you can use some of the lessons that I learned from this lucid dream and integrate it into your own lucid dreaming practice. So the first lesson from this particular dream was that beauty and danger can coexist. The dream opened with the black waters, the snapping turtles, and the beautiful rainbow reflected onto the water. And so it was showing me how sometimes we can move forward even when there's an element of risk present. An inner wisdom teaching of this dream was that the higher self doesn't promise life without challenges. So a practice that you can take from this lucid dream is noticing in waking life when you're waiting for perfect safety to act or before moving forward. Sometimes the most beautiful experiences require entering the waters despite the turtles. The next lesson was that the other world lives within your dreams. So the black water gave a sense of being another world. It felt familiar, but it also had deeper layers of existence to it and places that I hadn't visited before in my non-lucid dreams. The water oftentimes in dreams can symbolize emotions or the deep unconscious realms of your mind. And so going into the waters can feel scary at first because it is entering into this unknown, and there might be dangers contained within the unknown, like the snapping turtles. So a lesson from this is that your subconscious has its own geography, and the recurring dreams that you have, or the recurring dream elements that you have, help you to start learning how to navigate those places within your dream world. The more that you encounter these elements and the more that you go into them, the more that you swim in these waters, the better you learn the terrain, you learn the dangers as well as the allies that are present within this dream realm. So one thing that you can do as a practice from this particular insight is to start mapping your personal dream worlds. Do certain colors appear often? Are there waters in your dreams? Are there locations that appear repeatedly? These are elements and landmarks of your inner landscape, and they help you to understand what your particular dream signs are. A dream sign is an element that appears often within your dreams, and recognizing and tracking what your particular dream signs are is a key way to train your mind toward lucidity, because you're noting what is present in the dream time, and then you're able to recognize, wait a minute, I'm by a big body of water, or I'm by this black murky water. That's something that happens in my dreams a lot. Then you ask yourself the question, could I be dreaming? And when you ask yourself that question, just like I did in my dream, you might find that, aha, yes, I am dreaming, and then lucidity will be yours. Another lesson from this particular dream was declaring my intention. So the dream dissolved into the white light and into darkness, and I could have lost my lucidity, or I could have fallen back into a dreamless sleep, but instead I remembered, wait, I have an intention. I have a thing that I want to do now that I'm lucid within this dream. I want my higher self to come to me. And so a really important piece of lucid dreaming, like I said earlier, and I want to emphasize here, is knowing a clear intent of what you want to accomplish when you become lucid in your dreams. And even speaking out loud that intent can be such a powerful way to stabilize the dream and to bring more lucidity into it, and then to be able to accomplish whatever that intention is. So one practice that you can do is when you are in a lucid dream or when you're becoming lucid, then say out loud, I want to XYZ. I want to talk to my higher self. Or if you feel the lucid dream starting to fade away, there's a really powerful technique to stabilize the dream in which you say, I will stay aware. I will stay lucid. Bring lucidity to me now. Saying any of those things out loud in the lucid dream can really help to bring the lucid dream back into stability. That can be your first intention, and then try to remember, okay, and now that the lucid dream has stabilized around me, I want to do this. And really feel the truth of the words as you're saying them. Know that you are in a realm when you're in a lucid dream where your level of agency is so much higher than in a non-lucid dream. And so what you intend can happen. I like to say that you're not controlling your dream when you become lucid, because there are still elements of what happens that are out of your control. I wasn't controlling my higher self. I was having a conversation with my higher self. However, I had that level of agency to be able to remember what I wanted to do, to call upon that powerful force, and then see it meet me and have a conversation with it. And so if you are having the same intention around lucid dreaming, if you want to speak to your higher self within a lucid dream, here is a daily practice that you can do in order to accomplish that. So in the morning, ask, what wants to emerge through me today? So this is during your waking reality. You can also connect with that deep inner knowing, your inner guidance, and ask yourself what wants to emerge through me, and then notice synchronicities. Notice how you're guided certain ways. Notice if a voice in your head comes to you and says something, or you just think a thought that maybe wouldn't be one that you would regularly think. Take note of that as you're tracking this and as you're having this intention and conversation in the morning. Then throughout the day, notice when you're seeking external permission versus trusting your inner knowing, and see how much of your day and your life you are seeking that externalized authority versus going to your inner guidance. And if there's an imbalance there, note that, write that down in your day journal, and keep track of how much you are externalizing your authority and moments when you actually turn inward. And the more you track that, then when you look back on your journal, you can see how things went for you during the day if you were more externalized in your authority versus having that inner authority and moving from that space. And then when you have a decision point in your day, pause and ask yourself, what would my higher self say about this? And really tune into that guidance. Take a moment to feel in your gut and your inner knowing, rather than the rational mind thinking it all through. What would my higher self say? And this can really help if you have had connection with your higher self in the dream time. I find that that voice then is strengthened, and you can hear it again in this very lived way, coming and speaking to you and saying, actually, your conscious mind is thinking this, but this is really the pathway that might better serve you. And then in the evening, I want you to reflect on moments when you felt a playful, expansive quality, when you felt like you were making decisions and moving from this easeful place, because your higher self, your true will, is not something that is pushing you to struggle or to suffer. When you align with your true purpose and path, you will find that things actually very easily move and flow in the directions that you want them to. And you're not coming from a small self. You're not coming from a small desire. Oh, I want this, I want that, grasping. No, you're connected to this higher purpose and this purpose and pathway that will guide you. And then you'll find that it's like getting on waves in the ocean. You're riding those waves more gracefully and easefully, and kind of like surfing too. You're knowing when it's time to get off a certain wave before the waves come and crash you down into the ocean floor. And you're also knowing how to catch those moments, those opportune moments when you can ride it forward to success. And so then before sleep each night, invite your higher self to speak to you in your dreams. And this doesn't just have to be within a lucid dream. You can also receive a lot of guidance from your higher self in your non-lucid dreams. And the key to receiving that guidance is in the morning to remember your dreams and to write down your dreams. And when you do that, something that comes to you that might at first seem like, oh, that was just a random dream, or I don't know where that came from, sit with it, and you might find that actually in the symbolic realms, what was happening in that dream really relates to what you're dealing with in your waking life. And the guidance that you're receiving through that dream, again, perhaps very symbolically, was guiding you toward a clear answer of how to act in your waking reality to deal with the situation. So if you want more support in connecting with your dream time, in learning how to lucid dream, and in understanding the unique language that your dreams speak to you in, we have so many amazing resources for that. Our website, luciddreaminglucidliving.com, has a slew of online classes, both free as well as a lucid dreaming masterclass that teaches you how to have consistent and regular lucid dreams and how to stabilize your lucid dreams and be able to put clear intention into your lucid dreams. We also have an oracle deck that teaches you how to lucid dream through the intuitive art of pulling cards and receiving the teachings of each individual card. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, there are links in the description below to our website and to all of our resources. And happy dreaming. I hope that you're able to, if you really have this feeling like, yes, this is the next thing I want to do within my non-lucid or lucid dreams, I need that guidance from my higher self. I hope you're able to go out and seek that. And the last thing I'll leave you with is tonight, before you go to bed, write down the intention. I will connect with my higher self in my dreams tonight, and I want to receive guidance on, and then whatever you want to receive guidance on. Let that dream intention incubate in your mind as you go to sleep, and then in the morning, write down your dreams and see what messages you receive. Happy dreaming.